Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live here in the thick of being in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And we've got, how fitting, a star of the show and maybe a stealing headline like we saw today earlier in NEW's Rivals. And this man has been all over the place. I talk about him all the time. I've seen him in places like in Connecticut, TF Crew, my home state, and the other side of the Empire State, more up toward Canada, they would say, and Shocky's house party. And boy, has he been making a name for himself, especially in Massachusetts, where he is one half of those NEW tag team champions. And boy, has he made a name for himself with a win over a man that I'm sure somebody here in the chat was very happy about, and Mr. Gabe Sayers. You technically have 2 wins over him, one by pinfall. We're going to definitely talk about that. We're going to definitely talk about what your opinions are coming up on tomorrow's match in a no-rope barbed wired match between Mr. Dvorak and Mr. Sayers. There was your clue. I'm going to ask you about your tag team partner, Justin Abelstein. I'm going to talk to you about that match at Shocky's house party. I'm going to talk about just everything else you're doing, because I have no doubt that you might be the star of this show, but the way you continue to do things, you very well may be just the star, the headline of the underground wrestling circuit. Oh, by the way, you do a few good things over in some company called NWE. And boy, Kuma and Hiroshima, they got nothing on you. So don't you worry. I ain't going to bring them up too much, but I'm definitely going to bring up some of the great things that you have been doing. I am proud to call you a friend. Very happy to have you here back. And it's fitting because, like I said, Saturday night, everybody's maybe watching college football, watching the NBA. But forget about all of that, because our star of this weekend is here live. And I can assure you, this is going to be a real live one. So prepare. And now it's time to give our guest that introduction that he deserves. He's hyped for it. I'm hyped for it. Everybody in the chat will be. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it and start tonight's show here off in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters, and a company that we talk about that is at the center of it, literally and figuratively, in NEW. So, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Star wants to kill me, so now it's time to give him that introduction that he deserves, and let's give it to him. So, with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. A man that has been a star of the show with not one, not two, but 3 companies. TF Crew, NWE, NEW, where he is one half of the tag team champions of the world. His name is, simply put, the star of the show, Joe. The champ is here. Champ, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. I'm good. How about you, Dom?
This is the 8th intro I've done in 4 days. So, you can imagine how my voice is doing. Definitely starting to feel it. Thankfully, I get a mini break tomorrow because I'm only on once, but I'm on twice on Monday. But I do get a little bit of a mini reprieve tomorrow. I'll be here with the Brooklyn Prodigies, who have been killing it all over the place, and that will be a different show for a different time. But my voice is doing. But you know what, Joe Star? not about me. It's about you. And I'm hyped. You're hyped. We have the star of the show here. And I'm going to start maybe. Let's go here in current. I always like to start things off in current, and especially for those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, the platform that Joe Starr and NEW helped build. You had a very, very successful match here at Rivals. Everybody's talking about it. You get technically yet another victory over the Heartstopper, Gabe Sayers, and you pin Tyson Spade. So for those that are listening and watching, talk about how it feels to get yet another big victory here at tonight's historic NEW Rivals show.
Well, let me top it off saying like it's always a good victory to get over on Tyson Spade
Yes.
and on a big name, Gabe Sayers.
Yes. I'm
Like,
sure Mr. Dvorak is very happy about that. He was very, very, very happy. Delighted, as a matter of
I
fact.
bet he's always happy on me doing just like beating Gabe.
That's true. But another big win. I mean, obviously, you've had a lot of momentum here in NEW. You know, we talked about it the first time you were here. I think you were here about a month and a half ago around
Yeah,
that time. And we were basically saying, I was really excited about you. And, I really felt something special about you. And that's what it seems to be. I mentioned it. I'm sure you heard on Thursday's show. When your name comes up, I smile. Joe's Star, just
yeah,
almost like a twinkle goes in my eyes. There's certain people like Sean Jovi, Dark Cron, and it's Joe Star. You're one of those guys that the last like 3 or 4 months, I hear his name. I go, yeah, you know what? I like him. I really want him to do well. And you've been doing a great job here. You've been doing a bang up job here. As they used to say in the political world, when somebody would do well, they'd say he did a bang up job. And you have done a bang up job here in NEW. And this just continues all the momentum you've had here these last couple of months.
yeah, of course. So, like how I said it before the last time in here, I was like saying I'm trying to reach for my goals and just like go like 1 foot ahead on everywhere else like I'm going to. And, just me trying to do me, being the best.
It's fun. I think I said that today on Sportswire. You do you. You have to because again, nobody else is going to do you. But you've been doing that, and you've been doing a great job. And what has it been here these last few months where it's really starting to click here in NEW? What has it been here, Joe Star, for you as to why that you've clicked and done so well here?
It's just the environment, like the environment, the people that be
Yep.
there in NEW, the backstage, how I always have fun, and the
You
matches.
guys are a great group. I mean, I say it legitimately all the time. You guys are just a great, great group of people, really.
Yeah, no, it's just like when you become there, like when you go there at first time, or just like how I was like almost a year ago,
Right.
I was just like nervous out of my boots. But since like late like years go on later on, I was like, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
in here now. They
Right.
treat me as family. I treat them as family. Like we're all like big family in there.
Absolutely.
Which
Well, they're a very accepting. They're a very accepting group, but I'm not just saying it because you're here. People in NEW will probably be here in the chat. No, I really do say because I do bring on a lot of wrestlers. And I'm. We were talking about this today with Brad Coleman. I bring on people not just in the backyard, not just in the underground, not just in the pros, not just in the independents, in the hardcore, in the deathmatch scene. I have guys come on from overseas in the UK. So I get a chance to see a lot of people. I see people flesh in the wound. I'm in the community every day. A lot of people come on, and it's great. They can talk about community, they can talk about different things, but I'm figuratively living. And you guys are really, I think, just one of the best bunches because you just all, I think, just positivity. There's always just positivity with all yous.
yeah, no. So like I said before, I grew up like being humble, like where I come from and where like how to treat other people. Of
Although you
course,
are the star of the show, Joe. Humble and star of the show don't necessarily go hand
hey,
in
well,
hand.
sometimes I have to show off a little bit what I got in my
Duly
arsenal,
noted,
of
Joe.
course.
Duly noted. Thank you for telling us that. But yes, but
But being a humble person, like of course, like a lot of places that I go, if like I'm pretty chill. Like if you
yeah,
just
I
like
got to
hang
know
out
you a
with
little
me,
while. Yeah,
so
we talk from time to time. Yeah, I could see that. That's
time to time, like, and you even said it yourself, like when they say something about me, of course, you just like with a big smile on your face,
I
because
smile
I'm
because I just
always
feel like you're working hard. You're putting yourself in positions to succeed. You're wanting to travel. you're wrestling veteran guys or people that have been in the circuit. You've taken opportunities. And I think that's what it's all about. It's funny you said the word humble. I had on a wrestler overseas in the UK. Well, you guys, I think I just finished Rivals, and Brad Coleman. And Brad Coleman was a guy that, he was a world champion in the independent circuit in the UK, but he may have got his success a little too soon. And what he talked about today, now that he's making a comeback in the professional wrestling world over there, was that he's humble now. He's learned from, he got things maybe too soon. And I think by you saying that you're humble, that's an important piece of advice for a lot of people, because, a lot of people come on this platform, and I know that there's been things people say, but we're really trying to do things in a different light. And I think it's important that you mentioned humble, because the only way anywhere you'll get in life is being humble. Because if you just come across a certain way, karma's going to come and get you. That's at least what I think.
Pretty much. Because like, it's always whatever goes onto the dark, always gonna shine onto the light. That's why, like, try as myself. Like, I can't say for other people, but like,
sure,
for me, I try just like do my best and just do me. Like, no, it's like how my dad used to say. Like, he always never wished anybody a bad time or a bad wish.
I never wish
like
ill will
else.
on anyone. That was always the line. I never wish ill will on anyone. That would be the old adage. Yep.
So pretty much like all like how my dad always used to teach me, just like say like be humble, go forward, don't really ill will anybody else, because probably they're gonna do that to you, or karma's gonna bite you in the ass.
You want to treat people the way you want to be treated. You've been doing a great job out there. You've got the tag team championships alongside Justin Abel-Saint, so it's a great feeling right now. And you've just got a lot of momentum that I think you're gonna obviously look to carry going into next year.
Yeah, no, I'm always gonna be like in that carnival, like just like trying to go in that roller coaster, just rise to the top.
Yes, I mean that's obviously that's the whole point. I actually saw the carnival here in Staten Island, and in Brooklyn we had the carnival this summer. I saw both of them flush in the moon, but it's not about those carnivals. But I do want to put the match up here in a few minutes. I want to talk about that. But I mean, is there any secret to the momentum that you've had in NEW? Is there anything? Because I ask people all the time when they're on a run. I've had on athletes. I'm going back to college basketball here on Sportswire in a few weeks. I'm doing high school basketball, I believe, next month. So sometimes I ask those coaches and players. I'll ask them. They're like, is there something when they're on a run? Is there something special? Is there something secret? Is there a habit? Is there a hobby? Is there just something you're doing, or a routine that continues? But for you, has there been a secret to your success here in NEW of late, or it's just you're just going out there and it's just you letting it all hang out?
Just leaving everything what I have, show everybody what I got. To be honest, like of course practicing, just like getting your. Well, I'm not too like physical shape because like I'm a little chubby, rounded person, but heading to the gym just like to lift some weights.
I'm not going to
like,
discriminate against you, Joe. Don't worry. I'm not going to discriminate against
you. But just like keeping your body ready, just like
sure.
train, just like pretty much even the basics. Everybody, of course, like even professional like Seth Rollins or even Cena, they still be going into practice every time when they go in.
Hey, we had Brad. Listen, Brad Coleman. He's a trained wrestler, and he went back, and he hasn't been in a ring in let's see, April 23. Today's November. He went back to training in October. That's in 18 months, and he's gone back and he did a training session. He's doing a couple of more, and I think that everybody can learn. Everybody can still apply something, even if you're trained, even if you're Seth Rollins, John Cena. It doesn't matter who you are. So really, that's going to be the key for you, I think, going forward, just to continue to keep doing what you're doing. They would always say, keep doing what you're doing. I think you're going to continue to do that, good sir.
Pretty much, because like like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But just continue that ball of chain momentum of keep rolling through. Because like of course, there'll be some bad matches and good matches. They're not all gonna be perfect, but
Listen, Rocky said it ain't sunshine and rainbows. It ain't always sunshine and rainbows.
It's the cruel world back out there. So
yes,
of course,
you are quoting Rocky Balboa. Yes.
I always love my Rocky movies.
You know what? I definitely did enjoy that one. I definitely did enjoy Well, obviously that, but I'm here to talk NEW. And I think I'm going to put up today's match. It's a good time here. I know some people here in the chat from NEW. Let's go and watch the match with you, and we'll watch along. We're doing our watch alongs here, so we'll get everybody worked up here. I know everybody at NEW saw the show, but we want to thank, obviously, NEW for granting us permission to show this here. So let's get to the match here. It's for those that are listening and watching here. I'm going to go start it off, and I'm going to pull it right back here. There we go. To pull it to your entrance. And I'm going to go like this. I'm going to share the screen because it takes me a minute or two. Bear with us, the magic of technology. And there we go. Okay. There we go. Do you see it now? Now we should see it. No, I don't see it now. There we go. You know, Joe, that certainly does happen here. Okay. I'm going to go like this, go like that. And now I think we got you on the big screen. So talk to me what we're seeing. You're coming out here. Gabe is out there. And you're out here ready. And just talk about what you've seen your opponents come out first. And just talk to me about what's going through your mind here?
So pretty much in my mind, as you see over here, like I did had momentarily a pocket watch that Spade
Why?
actually gave me for like his my 15 minute of fame type of deal. So taking that to heart, and look at that, he even missed a shot when I'm even face to face with him at this point. So how, but you know,
You took that
coming in the
personal then.
ring, yeah, like jealousy could just like really be a pain in the itch in the back of behind, because yeah, I don't get any jealousy, but if he
But
wants
you might
jealousy,
now, Joe. Joe, you might now. You got gold. You've been in the ring with Gabe Sayers and beat him. I mean, you've walked into NEW relatively as a fresh face. So you
yeah.
could be getting some jealousy. I mean, there's no reason why not to think that.
Yeah, well, some people have success, some people don't. They be more like I started like wrestling like what end of 2021, 20 to 21. Of course, like I'm still new around here, but not really technically new. But
Well,
you know,
compared to other people in NEW,
compared to
you are,
NEW,
yeah.
like I'm still a fresh meat there. Which
Yep.
some people probably like Spade trying to just like prove. I'm trying to prove them wrong because if they tempt me, like of course I have to outshow them and show them what I'm capable of.
Does that motivate you that you want to show people that you're not this fresh face, you're not this guy that, like Brad Coleman talked about today, being green. You want to show these people that you're not as green as what maybe you would be thought of from other people like Tyson Spade, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. Like that motivates me even more to just like do what I love doing, which is pretty much a hobby of mine is wrestling. And you see me here, I'm going 1-on-1 with Gabe. Where's
This is a guy
Tyson
that
Spade around
wrestled
here?
Grimm in GTS. This is a guy that, has certainly been in there with the likes of Mikey Anarchy, Jimmy
Yeah.
Controversy, he's been friends with. He's wrestled down south against two certainly well-known figures on this platform in James Taylor and Anthony Steele. I mean, this is a guy, Gabe Sayers, that, he might have known the right people, tag team with Rad Dad, but the facts are is that he's a big name. He's a big name in our circuit, and he carries a lot of weight, and he owns a company that you work for.
Yes, of course. And funny thing is, like when I
Mm-hmm.
saw like first time that I was like wrestling around in NEW, and I never really seen Gabe at all at the first start until
Right.
now. So I was like, okay, when I heard his name, and then I have to do a little research. When I saw him pop up with TF Crew, GTS, of course, old videos of NEW,
UWF. Yep.
UWF, like that's pretty much crazy. And when I was in high school, I used to watch GTS a lot. So
Sure.
that pretty much kind of motivated me
They're
saying
the
like, oh,
seventh biggest wrestling company in the world, technically. They're number seven. I mean, they got
pretty
1 million
much.
plus subscribers. It's a big deal.
Yeah, no, when I was in Puerto Rico, of course, I've watched all his like videos, and me being me, I was like motivated on that point. And now when I heard somebody like Gabe Sayers wrestling in GTS, wrestled Grimm himself,
Yep.
I'm like,
In the main event.
wow. And he wrestled his wife as well, but that's another
Yes. Yes, we're
story.
aware.
But you know, Gabe is a really household name, and I'm pretty lucky to pretty much beat him, and having a match with him as well. Like this is like my third match because we had one in Right in the Ring, one in
Yep.
Halloween Hell, and this one right now in Rivals.
And the Halloween one, I mean, to talk about the amount of views you got, it. What does that do for you? You know, you hold a victory over Gabe Sayers. You're gonna win here in a three-way match over him. And again, you were a part of the riot in the ring with him, but specifically getting a victory over him a couple weeks ago on Halloween, and then being here. What does that do for you? What does that mean?
Well, honestly, I hope it shows like where I'm at the right direction, and
Hmm.
of course, it's not really. I am at the right direction because like I'm one half of the
I
tag team
think so.
champions,
I definitely think so.
and I'm really showing my style of art here because I'm already have tag team champion with Justin Abel saying
Which we're going to
already,
show that next. Yep.
and beating a household name as Gabe Sayers, that's like a really that's gonna make my like viewership pop up more.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. No question. No, listen, it's a clever move there by Gabe. That
clever. I
clever
had it to
move.
break up because like my shoulders were down. So at least he's more of a veteran like I do.
Joe,
Because
I would have had to have rain checked you. That if you lost the match today, I would have had to have probably postponed you. You know, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm
yeah,
only
no,
kidding. It's a joke. It's a
but
joke. It's a joke.
no. I was gonna say don't break my heart now.
Well,
Oh
there's
wait,
a famous
I'm
song with
not
that
Gabe
from
Sayers.
Miley Cyrus's father, but we'll certainly not go back in the time machine. But we'll watch and hear. And I mean, how do you prepare for a triple threat match?
Well, there's pretty much a 50-50% on a one-on-one match.
Yep, and
Now,
it's one third in a three way.
a one third of really that's kind of like that's really unexpected because like I could pin Tyson Spade like I did here tonight, but at the same time, Spade could have pinned Gabe or me, and it could go other ways. Like I could pin Gabe, or Gabe could pin me. It's just like a whole unlimited situation here.
Do you
So
like wrestling in triple threat matches or not as much?
oh, I
Because
like
now you're
most.
doing tag team and now you're doing triple threat matches. So how do you like these types of matches?
Well, I kind of like multi-man matches a little bit more than singles
Okay,
matches because like it hypes you up. Like okay, like
sure,
unexpectedly, you not only have to beat one person, you have to beat a second person,
sure.
and you have to really strategize what you could do in a triple threat match because it could go either way for all three men. Which in a one-on-one match, if you just focus on one person, it could be like an easy one and done.
And that was
Win
a
or
good move you
lose.
did there. That was some type of senton there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
A pretty clever move there. It was really nice showing your agility there. And what I've noticed, because I'm going to get to Gabe certainly after this match, especially when it comes to Mr. Dvorak, but I see that Gabe brings out some different things here in this match. He's showing some of what he's learned over in the PAPW arena with Paul Roma and Mario Mancini. And do you feel the same way that we're seeing maybe some things from Gabe that would show more of a technical, more of a less of a hardcore style that basically you have to try to figure out? That's something that's you kind of had to deal with here in this match.
Well, that's the best thing you could ever do. Like, don't let anybody else know. Like, don't be too predictable.
Sure.
Like, of course, like in a triple threat match, nobody's gonna really think of technical wrestling because, of
Sure.
course, it's
That's
a
a good
triple
point.
threat match. There's no DQ. You could use any weapons. You could pretty much do whatever you want. And
And that
well, of course, there's a third person, and copying my moves. Well, he failed on it miserably, but
that seems to be the theme with Mr. Spade, I guess.
yeah. Well, missing fail most of the every time, I think. But at the same part, like don't let anybody else know what you're doing. Like technical wrestling, nobody really
And we
thinks
see
about
there
a triple
again
threat
what
on.
Gabe does. You see him there come out with some type of headlock there, clever submission move. I mean, it shows you what he brings to the table and that you had to prepare in a different way. I mean, it's not every
It,
time that you're able to prepare for these things, but you defeated Gabe, you've pinned him, and you're here in this match with him right now.
yeah. So technically, it shows like more of his technical wrestling, like a wrestler's wrestler instead of deathmatch wrestler.
How do
Excuse me.
you maybe incorporate some of those things? Do you like more of the technical side? Do you want to maybe expand your horizons a little bit? How do you feel at this stage in your career?
Well, I could technically do more like technical moves and platters in my arsenal. It's not like I'm not gonna like be too dependent on them, but at the same time, I have to let my other opponent don't know what I going for.
Yes, you
So
certainly don't want to tell them here. And while we're watching the match here, we're here with Joe Star, one half of the NEW Tag Team Champions. I want to say hello to somebody in the chat here very briefly. That is the Evil Angel Judas. He is the Blizzard World Champion, the ALW Champion, and he wants to say that he's watching us right now in the Taco Bell parking lot. What are you eating from Taco Bell? First of all, the only thing I usually get from Taco Bell, we're talking like once in a blue moon, is the nacho fries. So what are you having, the Evil Angel Judas? And I hope to see you this week on Sportswire. And I know obviously Mr. Judas has been a very busy man, but I hope that you're watching this and enjoying it in the Taco Bell parking lot. And I guess, Joe, do you eat Taco Bell? Because I almost eat Taco Bell like once a year, if that. So,
it's been a while that I had Taco Bell. Actually, the last time that I had Taco Bell was when I was in Connecticut. Actually, when I was in
Oh,
Seattle.
really? You know, it's funny. I should be asking you about this match, but Judas talks about Taco Bell, and I'm more concerned about what you had for Taco Bell and what he's having for Taco Bell right now.
Ooh, not gonna lie, I don't even remember. Probably it was the Crunch Wrap, the
Okay.
Crunch
The
Wrap
only
Supreme.
thing I really have had from Taco Bell, I have to admit, is the nacho fries. That's what I have to say.
I
But
was about to say,
yeah,
how do the nachos fries taste? Because I never really tried them out.
they tasted rather nacho-y, but they did taste rather nacho-y.
Mm-mm.
But Mr. Sayers definitely did some, let's say, nacho fries of his own here toward you and Mr. Spade. He flew into a frying pan. But Mr. Spade, I mean, do you feel though that Mr. Spade is he? I don't think he's a failure. Do you think he's a failure? And I mean, he has been trying. I mean, what do you think about Tyson Spade right now?
It it's not the failure part. It's just like whenever like he gets down a peg or two,
Maybe it's
like
bad luck. You
if
think
he
maybe it's
lose,
bad luck?
a lot of people have bad luck. Like you see how Kane, he used to be world champion, and his bad luck was like 7 years later, he didn't pretty much win until Rey Mysterio was champion,
Yep.
and
Hey, the Undertaker wasn't world champion for. He won it against Hulk Hogan at Survivor Series and didn't win it until WrestleMania 13. I mean, there's some people that it takes them a long time to win a world championship, and maybe that's Mr. Spade, who's had success here in NEW. Maybe he
Mhm.
just needs a
he's
break
a
or
f-
two. I don't know.
well, he's a former world champion, and
Yes,
sort of point, he's a former Northeast champion as well.
yes, he's had success,
So
but right now, lately, he hasn't had as much success. So I was just curious what you thought. But you are certainly using some of your anime type offense there. You are definitely showing us that energy. You are definitely showing us why you are the star of the show there. But you definitely
yeah,
had to take a break there. Yeah, we don't think Tyson's a failure, but he'll
he
get it together one day.
well, I don't want to really knock off the guy because like he's really projecting a lot of them like losses into his head probably.
And he
So
beat Reyes Silver. I mean, he beat in a brother versus sister match that everybody's still talking about. I mean, just one of the most viewed shows for NEW this year. I mean, right up there with the All Wrestling Matters and the Riot in the Ring and some other great shows. So I mean, there's he'll get it back together.
yeah,
He'll get it.
like once in a while you're not gonna have your ups and downs. Like it's wrestling.
That's
We're not ballet. If you slip and fall, you
I
gotta
didn't
have
know.
to
I
grab
didn't
the
know
guy
wrestling
backwards or
wasn't. I didn't know
sideways.
you guys were ballet.
Not that I expect. If we are, then I need to change up to the different one then.
Well, well, before we do anything else here, I just want to let everybody know that Judas had chicken quesadillas, but now he's thinking about getting some nacho fries. So he maybe did want nacho
Nacho
fries.
fries are the
I did
wins.
like them, but I haven't had them often. I don't eat Taco Bell very much. But Gabe Sayers right now is about to take Tyson Spade's leg and basically bend it into some maneuver. And
An
Mr.
STO sweep,
Yep,
most
and that hard
likely.
hard stopper he is, and he does hear something that was definitely something he must have pulled out of the PAPW arena, and yeah, some form of, I guess, some form of sweep there. Yeah, I don't know, it's the steel sweep or the Sayers sweep, but he does try to get a pin on you, but thankfully you've got just enough in the tank to kick
Oh,
out there at 2 2/3.
come on. Whoever doesn't kick out of a bulldog?
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. I'm gonna get back
Because
to you.
like, come on, we're not gonna have that. Look, it's a cool move, but like, come on, that to be the last move before you count out.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I
that
don't know.
that I can't let that happen.
Well, that's certainly good you didn't, but you and Gabe are definitely hitting each other like it's the 4th of July, and I can hear those shots from right here in the friendly confines of the Sportswire Radio studios here in Staten Island, New York. So we can certainly hear those shots, and boy, that's some shots that, listen, we can hear them up and down the Northeast, and I can hear them almost like the wind at my window. And Mr. Spade is obviously just ready to pick up the pieces, and he's definitely going after Mr. Sayers. And I guess he went after you. Maybe he was trying to figure out getting both of you guys down. But Gabe Sayers is definitely feeling that heart stopping like pain right now.
Yeah, no, well, with the chops that me and him were given, at least, good thing his heart didn't stop pretty much there because of how hard
Well,
we were
Tyson
hitting.
Spade's arm almost stopped, and then you there put your own submission hold into the hard stopper, and obviously that's going to hurt him almost as what Mikey Anarchy has done to him in the UWF and other places. But
Yeah.
Gabe is looking for somewhere to touch, but there ain't anywhere to touch, and he's going to basically hope to find some way to get out of this hole because you've got him here. That's why you are the star of the show. That's for sure. Definitely, you are showing that here and some. But Mr. Sayers is get that count ready for our referee, our senior, as one of our senior officials at NEW, who shall name nameless, but might look like somebody we've seen. But there goes Mr. Spade, and there's a clever move there. It was clever. Been a good match so far. We're gonna get Copper Dragon's gonna rate this one. I'm gonna tell Copper Dragon to rate this one. He likes Gabe, but I want him to like Tyson Spade and Joe Starr a little bit too. So we're gonna make sure that we get this match rated here. But
Okay.
Spade's showing some offense. He's showing some offense, and he's definitely getting in his offense. And we see you're down, and you've taken a little bit of a nap there, whereas Mr. Spade is looking for something. And to quote Rush, you don't get something for nothing because he's got a chair, and
Mhm.
definitely he's about to hit you and then hit Mr. Sayers. And let's just say he's going to hit you like a bunch of hemispheres and permanent waves. And definitely that was 2112 like overtures there. But we're not going to go into those things that are too complicated, almost like the time changes of those songs. But obviously, Mr. Spade is going to try to do something to you, but you're going to find a way to reverse into it, and what's going to lead into eventually what this finishes. And we're going to see it very, very shortly. And we're about to see it here right now, how it all unfolds. And there you go. You looked up. That's why you're the star of the show. You know pretty much your audience. And boy, oh my God. Oh
Rain
my
Buster.
God. That's going to hurt. That is going to hurt. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. And the winner of this triple threat match, one half of the NEW Tag Team Champions, the star of the show, Joe Star. Boy, Joe, you definitely showed why you might be the nicest a-hole. I didn't know that was such a thing, but you definitely let Tyson Spade feel that and some. So Mr. Spade is definitely going to maybe need some medical attention there, but that was definitely going to hurt. That was going to leave a mark. And you see your
Mhm.
tag team partner come out there. He's very happy, and he gives you that belt, and he raises your arm, and it's a rather victorious moment for the two of you.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Like, okay, it's it was either way. That brainbuster was gonna land on somebody, whether it was Gabe or not.
No, I don't think it was
But
going to Gabe. I think it was only you and Mr. Spade. That's who it was going to, good sir.
for right now, it was Spade. He was the one that wanted to finish me off, but I finished him off with the brainbuster onto the chair, which dented. But at the same time, I
I don't
came
think
up
you're worried
victorious,
about the
just like
chair.
how I said.
I don't think you're worried much about the chair.
Nah, budget's overload, anyways.
Well, you know what? Big win and congratulations. Great feeling. Continues the momentum. And this is the NEW YouTube page. We're going to come back and show the Tag Team Championship victory here in a few minutes. But this is NEW's page. So if you're here right now, you're enjoying the chicken quesadillas like Judas is, and maybe some nacho fries, hit the sub button for our friends in NEW. We really appreciate that. They've been so supportive of us. They allowed us to show the footage, by the way. I mean, obviously, Mr. Sane could have said, no mas on to allowing us to show the footage. So we appreciate Mr. Sane for allowing that. But let's get to the chat here. I got some people in the chat. I want to maybe tie into some things like Mr. Sayers in a minute. So let's take this off the screen for now. Let's put you on the big screen, good sir, and say hello to some people. Zilla's in the house. I know you know Zilla. How you doing, Zilla? Good to see you, Zilla. Mr.
Zilla's always a
Dvorak
good person.
praised you on Thursday's show. Big fan of yours. Obviously, you guys work Shocky's house party together. Would like to say
Hey.
hello to the star of NEW, Joe Star, and exclamation points. Joe is the man. I definitely agree about that. Love Joe. Hello to the, well, I don't know if Mr. Dvorak is the leader of DHC anymore, though. I don't know if he's the leader, especially after what happened at
After
the main
what
event.
happened with
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
like,
what happened to Power Surge? Did you see that coming at all?
No.
That was I didn't see that. I thought they would have just shook hands. They would have went on their merry ways, and but
it's tight. It's just like what? Like,
are they DHC anymore? Even I mean, I don't know. I mean, what's to make of all that?
Honestly, now that I'm seeing it, I'm like saying like, are they gonna be DHC or they're gonna be like half DHC and just like Surge is gonna find something to be in Redux in a way? Like, what's going on?
I didn't see that. I have not seen Surge the way he was attacked today like that before. I mean, that was just
honestly, I thought like brotherly love, Zero
and their
and
history
Surge,
together. It's a long history, Zero in the Surge, and
a long one, like even
and the
way
Surge got that
before.
Surge. He got a Surge to his, let's just say, his private parts, to quote the Howard Stern movie.
I know for sure Surge is not happy after this. So
well, would you be happy too? You wouldn't be happy.
Oh, I wouldn't. That's another thing. Like, having somebody like that close to you just like break off.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
That would be like
Can't
you
see
and
that.
that'd be like you and Kuma and Shima.
Oh, well, me and Shima, we're good,
I know it was a
I
joke.
know about Kuma.
It was a joke, but hardy har. But something tells me Mr. Dvorak's not going to be laughing. Hello, Zilla. He does say, I don't know how I feel about the DHC anymore after tonight. I don't know.
Honestly, like the way, like him off on his leave of of injury, literally, like everything just like exploded.
All sudden, I remember at the end of last season how they were just. It looked like they could have been running together as a group for years.
For sure, like that's
but
how.
Now
like,
I don't know.
I thought it was gonna be like the DHC versus like the whole entire roster at this point.
Which was kind of what Redux was, but only stronger from DHC. And
yeah,
now,
like I even had my own problems with them and starting of my career. Like when I was with Tag Team Champions with Sane, I've fought against Zero and Surge.
Yep,
that's where pretty much the miscommunication happened. But it's like, wow.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just tell you what, I just don't know. And Zilla's saying she's heartbroken. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are heartbroken. I mean, I think the Surge's private parts are heartbroken.
Oh, well, he's a Viking man, so I think he has to get harder than that, to be honest.
I'm going to move on from that. I'm going to say that Mr. Dvorak would like to say, I think it's best if I just start doing my own thing. Zilla says she agrees. But he would like to say enough about him. It's Joe Star. And congratulations on the big W. Yes, big W. Congratulations. Yes, we respect Mr. Dvorak. We respect Joe Star. We do appreciate that. But, I want to ask you actually something. Speaking of Mr. Dvorak, because I want to put the poster up on the screen. It'll tie into some of the chat. And I'm sure you're aware of tomorrow that they're taping a match between Mr. Dvorak and Mr. Gabe Sayers, a man you have defeated already technically twice. You hold one pinfall victory over him. And they're having a no-ring barbed wire match. And I was wondering what your thoughts were on that match and who you thought would win and just anything you might want to add or elaborate on. Because obviously this is two men that you know extremely well and you technically share a locker room with both of them. So what's your opinion on what's going to happen here tomorrow between these two individuals?
So pretty much just like it's a death match. Of course, it's going to be bloody. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be crazy. And to see Jake and Gabe go against each other in that first ever barbed wire no ropes match, I can't wait to see who's going to be the number one to be the victor here, actually, because I
think that Jake's got a lot more on the line, but he's also
more experience with that,
and he's got the home ring advantage. Gabe has, been showing that he's more technical these days, and Jake is grinded. Gabe is, he's known people in the right places. He's been in these big places, the big leagues, whereas Jake has worked his way. He's grinded his way. And I think he's going to take all that frustration out on Gabe Sayers. And he might, well, figuratively and literally try to stop his heart tomorrow. He literally might try to stop his heart tomorrow, Joe Star. What are you going to do?
I know I can't do anything. I'm just going to be sitting in front chair row, just like seeing that all hell go loose. I'm not going to be between them two.
That's a smart move. Joe, you're a smart man, Joe. You're a good man. That's why I always smile about you. Just let them fight it out. Don't get in the middle of it. That's a smart move.
Unless somebody gets me with a death match, then okay, I'll try to kill them. But for me to be a part of them two, hell no.
So you think Jake has the edge here coming up tomorrow?
For me to say, I pretty much know both of them.
Yeah.
But honestly, my true opinion, I think Jake is going to be winning this one.
And Gabe's been very quiet on social media about this. Jake was here. Jake has shared the reels on it. I mean, Jake has been very visible, where he's been quiet. I mean, all quiet on the Connecticut front, it seems.
Honestly, to be honest, like, Gabe is Gabe. You can't.
I know that I've used that line on prior shows.
Yeah, like, Gabe is Gabe. You can't change Gabe, but you can see he's more technical nowadays.
It's because Gabe has been hanging around people that they don't want to be in deathmatch and hardcore wrestling as much. He's been in places with millions of subscribers and going out there in places down south with individuals that have certainly made their name here. And he's been getting trained by former WWF and WCW champions. And, and maybe he's forgotten where he came from. Whereas Jake knows what it's like to have grinded. Jake, I mean, he's been grinding for 15 plus years, whereas Gabe, I mean, he just found the right people, and that's where he is. Whereas Jake may take all that frustration out tomorrow in this no-rope barbed wire match. That's what could potentially happen,
Honestly, like, I know for sure Jake, since the first time that I saw him in NEW, and not from now, with all the death matches and pretty much
what he and Sane did to each other in the UWF, and what he did at Shocky's house party. We showed that match on the screen. I mean, that was intense,
him taking the whole skewer right here. Like, again, I love my kebabs, but like, literally, I don't want to be human kebabs.
Yeah, I mean, the only kebabs I think of is my former neighbor's cousin owns a hot dog cart about 2 blocks from my house, and we would get those little bamboos and beef kebabs. We'd have the beef kebabs in the summer, but not those other ones.
Oh man, like on the Right in the Ring and on All Wrestling Matters tournament, he could go way. You see how Gabe is a little like not too much.
Because Gabe is getting training from guys that are probably telling him, "What's wrong with you, kid? You're going and wrestling in this? Slow it down, kid. Come on, let's go. You got to do this. That's what it is." Gabe is learning from those that look and frown upon this. They call backyard wrestling deathmatch wrestling. They look at it and say, "What are you doing here? What's going on? What's wrong with you?" Whereas Jake, he's comfortable in this environment. That's the difference. I'll tell you that's the difference. Because Brad Coleman confirmed that today. Brad Coleman's a trained wrestler. He was in the yard, and he talked about what they say and what those trainers would say, especially Gabe's trainers. I think that's what it comes down to potentially.
And that's another thing, like, of course, Jake is going to be in the comfort because that's literally his home.
It's his environment, absolutely.
In his wheelhouse. So he's going to have an advantage here too.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point, and we're really looking forward to the match. And obviously, we want everybody to tune in and support NEW. That is their Instagram page. I'd like people to go out there and follow it. It would be very important for you to go follow it. And it's the NEW Instagram page. You can check it out here and all the different stuff here. We've got another show coming up here, and let's just say it's just another effing show. We're not going to say it here, but just say it's JFS. JAFS. Think of it like BINGO. BINGO, and Bingo was his name. Oh,
That's right, Tom.
JAFS. JAFS is in NEW. There you go. But I'm going to not sing anymore because I'm a little off tune, but we'll put this off the screen for now. Go out there and follow NEW. Congratulations, Joe, on the big win. Mr. Spade
Thank
would
you.
like to say this. Congratulations on the win. I'll see you soon. Thank you very much, Mr. Spade, for hanging out with us here for a little while. Let's see. Hello, Spade.
How's your
Yep.
head, Spade?
Well, he's here right now. Well, he's here right now. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Yes.
Hope
Good
I
job
didn't
today at
run his
Rivals. Yes.
brains loose.
I'll wait for the joke that comes next. There is no joke. I meant it. You did good
You
today.
are the
Okay.
joke.
I'm said it that Joe Starr could have been the NEW undisputed champion more than, but you got the tag team championships.
Uh, don't worry, Zilla. One day or another, probably I'll get to that ranking.
Well, you got the tag
Well,
championships.
I right now I'm I'm selling it in Zilla. Don't worry. Probably just like how Jake and everybody else say, I'm really am just like rising up to this to the occasion. So probably here or later, maybe I'll get a singles title run.
Okay, well, we'll certainly come back. I got a lot more comments. Let me get to them. Again, I'll believe all of this new Jake when I see you actually have changed. When you see you actually have changed. What do you think about that, Ruka? Do you think that Jake, he was apologizing on Thursday. And I know you're friends with
That
Jake. You like Jake. But what do you make of the apology? It was almost like the famous Tom Cruise on Oprah, Will Smith apologizing after the Oscars. I mean, do you think it's at that level? What's your thoughts?
honestly, I never thought he was gonna really apologize for what's really going on. But a lot of people could change their mind after really an injury or two. Like when something really he had the world champion in his hands, and after losing it and seeing how DHC is pretty much breaking up at this point, like I think he's really sincere on it. Like like having. What if you say like if you had one of your best friends and it's not compared to this, but like having your best friend that you know a long time
Yep.
with your other best friend, and like they
Mhm.
pretty much grew up together,
Ah,
and then
yeah, I got
break
no
up.
friends. I got no friends, Joe.
Oh wow,
It's a joke. It's a joke.
you
It's a joke.
sure? You okay, Tom?
I'm with you right now, so I'm feeling better.
At least that's good.
Yeah, I'm feeling better. But I mean, so you believe it? Do you think that? I mean, Jake really believes it?
I really think I think he really put effort into that apology because having the courtesy of doing that live in front of people like really changes like heads. Like you were shocked about it. I was dumbfounded when I was like watching live. I was like, huh? What? And it's just like how he said it backstage. Me and him, we don't have any ill will, bro. Me and him, we just like be texting most of every time.
Well, you talked about it the first time you were here. You asked Jake for advice. You were with him at
Yeah.
Shocky's house party. You've been there at TF Crew, so you know him. I mean, so you're not really in the fire there like some other people have been in there with Jake. So you're really a newer member of the
Mm-hmm.
roster. So you may not have the animosity that Spade would have towards Jake, and Spade would have an understandable point.
Yeah. So like they have their own opinions. Like what before the whole time when I was in NWE, I honestly I never knew anything about NEW until I had a chance to. And look at me now. Pretty much half tag team champion was insane. And backstage memorial and everything. On my opinion, I think Jake is really like one of the coolest dude to hang out with, of course. And
So you vouch for Jake then. The Jake apology
I'll
is real.
vouch for
Okay, so you
Jake,
think
of
it's real.
course.
You're good with it. So you think that Jake apologizing, you're okay with it. You're not bothered with the past. He's here. He's owned up to it. This wasn't what he intended. So you're with the apology.
Yeah, I'm with the apology. And everything that's stuck in the past, you should leave it in the past. Hey,
Okay.
wrestling is a form of business. What
I
you
hadn't thought of it.
what
That's a
you
good line. That's a good
what
line.
you do
Wrestling is
in
a form of
wrestling,
business.
with the
Mhm.
heel and the faces, sometimes you have to get the heel work to just like get into the main event spot or like grab the
And
opportunity.
Jake's been around, and I think Jake sees things differently, and maybe he's seen his ways, and maybe he feels that he can be better. Maybe he feels that, listen, people are changing. I mean, Brad Coleman today talked about being humble, talked about accountability. Jake talked about it here on Thursday's show. I mean, there was one wrestler Friday, Anthony Arias, who went the other way, but a lot of people here, they're talking about accountability. And so, all right, we'll have to see. And Jake Dvorak would like to defend himself. Spade, you've been on the wrong side of the table and changed. How come you can't believe that I have? There you
And you
go.
know, that's another thing. Like Spade, probably he done the same thing. Like yo, of course, I'm doing the same thing in NWE. I was a good guy there, but you know, I'm trying to change the company after I turned heel,
Sure.
make the
Joe, it's so
product
hard to believe
more.
though that you would be a bad guy. It would just be so hard. You're a good man. You make us all smile here. Joe, I just wouldn't believe it. Joe, maybe some people would have, some differences of opinion on Jake, but you being a bad guy, Joe, I would have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, which is the fun thing, you know, like it'll be a hard thing to know about, like when somebody could turn 180 degrees, because you know,
Well,
like there's two sides of each
well, I
story.
hope you stay a good guy, Joe, because you always make me smile. So I hope I'll be very disappointed if you
Oh,
become a bad guy.
then I'll give you a little spoiler. Then NWE, don't watch it then, because I'm a heel.
Oh,
But
no, 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 no. We have to watch
yeah,
NWE on Sportswire, but we're
but no,
saying
please go watch
yes,
NWE.
we
Don't
love
watch
NWE.
AEW.
We
Wherever I
love
go at this
NWE.
point.
We love NEW. We love TF Crew. Please watch them all. Never expected anyone to accept my apologies on day one. I had to prove I changed first, and that takes time.
Well, of course, you know, like you can't really go at it at once. Of course, you need to just like get proven a lot of times, and you know. But that's another thing. You can't really tell them to prove it each and every time, because you know probably they're not gonna show it for you. They're probably gonna like say, you know what, screw this guy. He doesn't need my time to get shown. Like at least I have some people that really backs me up. At least you know, like that's pretty much like I go with it. Like I understand Spade's idea of it, but like at the same point, you can't really push too much the gun.
Fair. That's I hadn't thought of it that way. That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy. Zilla's still upset and she's still disappointed. Well, a lot of people are. That's a fair point. You know what, Spade? I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'll show you that I'm not the same person he was.
See,
Okay, well, you know what? I mean, that's obviously another good point. That's a very good point. Well, I'm sure Jake will have the ability to see what he would like to say on that. I'm sure if you support NEW, you'll definitely get that opportunity to have that. So please go out there and support NEW. I can't stress that enough. So make sure you do that here. Let me get to some more comments. A lot of people want to talk. Don't worry with my accomplishments. I don't need to be jealous of you. Okay. I am too
so
zealous. It was awful. Very, very graphic. Kids, don't try this at home. How about this, Jake? I'll say what I want to say to you next week on Vortex. And he says he's looking forward to it. Jake Dvorak, when are you coming back to NEW Underground Wrestling? Well, he's going to talk about that. Well, thanks, Zilla, for the plug. We appreciate that. Well, I addressed this here onto the chat. We don't think Spade's a failure. We'll certainly get to him, I'm sure. Hello. We got back to Judas. Yep, he's not a failure. And yes, we spoke about the win over Reyes Silver. Spade can definitely hold his own. Thanks. We appreciate that. Taco Bell aside, very entertaining match. So Judas liked the match. You should meet Judas sometime. He's from ALW. He's in Ohio. He's obviously a
Ohio.
part of
Ooh.
Ohio. Big Man Cam's promotion. He's definitely a big talker. He certainly held his own against Darkron, and he's been out there, and he's a younger talent, made a name for himself like you, and probably does things in a little bit more of a, let's say, his own way. But definitely a guy that I hope that you get a chance to meet one of these days in the underground wrestling circuit. And also, I could see an anime fan like you. I could see an anime fan. So
Well,
definitely
yeah,
going to
I
meet this
got a
guy.
lot of collections here at this
I
point.
see.
So
I just thought maybe that was just all AI, but yes, definitely meet him. I hope you do if he's still here. Yes, Gabe Sayers is not here, but do go follow him. But I don't know why they canceled the Backyard Havoc. That would be a question you'd have to ask them. But I'm sure they have their reasons. But I'm here with Joe Starr. He's the star of the show, so it's always one door closes, another one opens. I don't support and respect the DHC anymore. Well, are they the DHC anymore? I don't know. I wish. He says he wishes it was tomorrow, but the match is actually next Sunday. Well, you get the point. You get the point. Gabe is afraid of me. Gabe is afraid of me. Well, he might be. I don't know. He's been quiet. My head is fine. I've taken worse and gotten up. Defiant till then. I want to bring up this guy for a second because there's a guy here. His name is Chase Wakefield. Now, Chase Wakefield apparently is holding a wedding invitational. So basically, he's getting married next summer, and he wants
oh
to have
wow,
a big
congratulations.
yes, but he wants to have a wrestling super show. Now, I know that you're in the state of Massachusetts, and I know
Correct.
Pennsylvania and Massachusetts aren't too far from each other. So I was wondering now, coming up for next year, would you like to be invited to a wedding? I asked Mr. Dvorak this question. And on top of that, would you like to wrestle maybe potentially in the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational? Would you like to maybe have an opportunity to be a part of this? Is it something that what would you think? I mean, would you want to get married and hold a wrestling super show at the same time? Like, what do you think of all this and this guy, Chase Wakefield?
Well, honestly, like if he really wants to throw an invite to my Instagram page, to just like book me or whatever, he could just send me the place. The only thing I have to do is just really much can't see what I could do on the day, see what pretty much what I could do, because like working over here is just like pretty much like day to day
But,
basis. So
but
I
I'm
kind of
sure
have to.
next summer you got plenty of time to figure out if this wedding takes place, and maybe you get a day or two off, and maybe you'd like to show up, maybe bring your gear,
Yeah,
maybe
I
bring
could
your ring
always bring my
attire,
gear.
just.
That's always the wrestling code. Always bring your gear everywhere we go.
And I think that you should be invited. And I think that Mr. Dvorak should be invited, and many other members of the NEW roster may also want to attend and congratulate this young man and maybe potentially have the opportunity to show up.
Well, that's on the tables. I'm not saying no. I'm not gonna say yes either because I
We
have
don't
to
even know the
for
date
sure.
exactly. We don't know the location. This is all,
Just
hypothetical.
stirring up in
But
the moment. Yeah,
but
of
now, if
course.
you were getting married, would you want to hold a wrestling super show, or you would just want to get married, right?
Honestly, marriage and wrestling, I to be honest, doesn't really go well together. You already seen it in
Unless
TV
you're like,
multiple times.
unless I guess it's Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. I guess maybe. I guess
Lita
maybe that
and
would be.
Kane at this point.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Stephanie McMahon and Triple H that was in real life, and I'm not even going to go there. But this guy wants to do that. But if it works, maybe you should be invited. I
yeah,
guess.
it works. It works. Some people have their preferences. I
Yeah.
really
Well, you
never
know what?
really thought anything like a wedding and then a wedding wrestling event together. That's pretty much new.
Well, and you know what? That's why people should follow this young man and on his quest, and maybe directly talk to him about being invited and maybe showing up to the wedding and wrestling at the same time. Bring your gear. It's the underscore CW underscore invitational, just like the CW network. It is the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. It is the super show of all super shows. The Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational is going to have all walks of professional wrestling to gather and celebrate. There you go. So there you go, Chase Wakefield. And this individual, like to say Joe Star. I think you know who this is. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. And Jake definitely appreciates you. And Zilla's a forgiving. She is forgiving Jake, so that's very kind of Zilla, very kind way. And she's wishing him a kind and speedy recovery. Very kind. And you guys may accept the apology, but what he did to me in the past and what he did to others, it will never be equal. It's a valid point. Everybody has
A
their reason.
valid point. Everybody have their reason and their
Everybody
opinion,
has
but
their reasons, and people are definitely enjoying that you are the star of the show. We had a lot of comments there, so we'll take this off the screen. And before I get to the tag team title win, I'm on the air tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time with the Brooklyn Prodigies. The Brooklyn Prodigies, Gabe Sayers definitely knows them. They've been in the UWF. They've been in Pro Wrestling Venom. They've been in a whole list of other places, and they're going to be here live on Sportswire Radio, and maybe they should be in NEW. I don't know. Has Jake been in a locker room with the Prodigies? I feel like Jake, have you been in a locker room with them? I don't remember if that's the
I
case. Maybe, maybe not. Well, maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll see if they want to be here. But the Prodigies are here. They definitely have a history with a slew of Sportswire guests, past and present, and we'll definitely see them Monday, 3 o'clock with UK wrestler Hybrid, who no longer is the OK 24/7 champion, but rather the 25/8 champion. So great stuff there. We'll look forward to that. Let's put on the match where you got a chance to win your first belt in NEW. I want to put that match up on the screen. We're going to do that in a minute. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to put this match and go sync it up for everybody here. So we'll watch it from the beginning. So let's go like this. Go like that. Let's see where we go from here. Let me pull it up. Oh, I have it here. Let's see. Where are we? Nope. Let's go where you guys come into the match. So I think we're about, let me see. Where are we? Yep. Okay. I know where we are. Okay. So we're going to go like this. and we're going to let this unfold from right here. So give me 1 second. And Jake says he doesn't remember if he shared a locker room with them. Yeah, that's why I asked. I just didn't know if that was the case. But I'll talk about it with them anyway. The Brooklyn Prodigy Zilla are one of the premier tag teams in and around the independent and the underground wrestling circuit. They've been pretty much up and down the Northeast. They're actually from Brooklyn. They're from my home community, and they have wrestled in a number of different places. They've wrestled alongside Jimmy Controversy and some other people. So we'll see them tomorrow. And right now, first of all, we're going into the tag team turmoil match. So you guys haven't entered yet, but talk to me about what you're seeing here and everything else in store.
So pretty much, DHC versus Leo and D Savage for the tag team titles is in turmoil because of course, Justin Abel saying bring them back, and he chose me to be his tag partner. So me and Saint, we just like looking in the bag, just like studying on pretty much the matches because gauntlet match, you don't know who's coming next or
Oh,
who's
coming
coming
in, yeah, it's
last.
just it's a coin toss basically. It's a flip of a coin.
Pretty much. And me and Sane kind of had the lucky part of it of being the last team to be entering. So we kind of had a little a little chance of victory, pretty much more than anybody else, because we just got there in the last moments. But at the same time, tag teaming with Leo and just like D Savage, like there's a random tag team.
Yeah, I was gonna say Leo and Savage don't really have that chemistry, whereas at
DHC
this
they have
moment, at this
multiple.
moment, they did. I mean, Zero and Surge and Rhea and obviously Zero definitely have that chemistry, but as
Hmm.
2/3 of the group here at the moment. But I mean, that in a way still makes it difficult to prepare for something that you just don't know who your opponents are.
Yeah, of course. And pretty much this was like my first time going against Leo and Savage in a tag match. So, it's like pretty much into new waters, new
What's that
territory.
like? What is that like for you?
Pretty much, just like every time when I'm going against somebody new, of course I'll be watching their old videos of their matches to see like who I'm going really against. And of course, at this time, I kind of been gifted the chance to just like go in a match with them, of course. And you see there, Zero's trying to fight them off, being the tag team specialist that they are, of course, because they're really a tag team faction. Makes more way better than just like two random people as tag teams.
So there's no way to study for something like this. You couldn't
No,
watch, let's say, Savage's matches on his own, Leo's matches on his own, Reyes, Zero's. You just have to go out there and just pretty
wing
much.
it.
It's almost like I was going to say that. Yeah, you pretty much have to wing it then.
Because seeing them separate videos like singles matches, they're not really gonna cut it to being in a tag team because you don't know what they have on their sleeves. But right there for me, just like going into this like turmoil matches, I was like, okay, just prepare to just like go into battle. Of course, I have my tag team partner with me, Justin Abel, saying for that. And me and him, we just like try just like get everything in the tag team base, of course. But other than that, me and him, we just like decided to just like strive and win. See like pretty much where we could go with this, whether win or
Was
lose
there
to him.
anything? Now, Sane's more of the veteran over you. So let me ask
Yes.
you this question. Did you ask him for any advice going into this or anything at all that you and him spoke about to help you guys in this moment?
Honestly, the only thing that we just like not any advices, but like me and him, we just came up with ideas like how can we win these matches in a way. So we'll most likely we was just like saying like we go out there and just like do what we could do, because any given time like there's different people, you don't know who they are really much, like you have to like pretty much blind guess everything.
Does that make you a better wrestler actually by dealing with that adversity? Because these are things you haven't been dealt with much in your career. So by going through this, won't that long term make you a better wrestler?
I think so, because if you have a one-on-one chance against any of them, you'll be watching what they previously do. So they already got you like camerized already. Like they already know what's your signature, your finisher, of course. They already know what's your comeback, what's your favorite moves to do, because
So
it's
maybe in a
already
way
been
you
already
might have had
online.
it. You make an interesting point. As we're here with Joe Starr, of course, the star of the show. He's one half of the NEW Tag Team Champions. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Your voice, figuratively and literally, will all wrestling matters. You make an interesting point in the sense that you have less experience than your opponents here in the ring. So you can look at it. You maybe had the advantage because they aren't able to study as much on you because all four here. Zero certainly got plenty of experience. Savage is on the indies. Leo's got experience, and Rhea's got experience, and you have
Hmm.
a lot less experience than those four. So maybe in a way that helps you going into it more than worried about everybody else.
Yeah, so pretty much like at that point, I was like a dark horse. Like nobody knows like what I did. Excuse me. Nobody else really knew like what I could accomplish. In a way, they pretty much saw like couple videos. Like I've been there a couple of times, one on one. They never really saw me as a tag team wrestler. So pretty much like giving everybody else like a mentality, saying like, what can he do? Like I don't know what he does.
And
Just
that's an
keep
interesting
everybody
feeling.
in
That's
a.
very interesting. It's an interesting point that you just made. Very interesting that you made those points because, like that's something that, a lot of people I think would say, well, I hadn't thought of it that way. That's a clever line there that you came up with. And I think that that's what, you obviously are the beneficiary of it because they're killing each other right now. They're
That's
killing each
another
other.
thing. In a turmoil, in tag team turmoil match, you want to go there, win as quick as possible, and leave. Because
Yeah.
you got other people that's gonna be waiting for you on the other side. Which Savage already had his leg a little beat up. Leo had his trouble with Rhea at the
You could
time.
see it there, obviously. That's going to obviously eventually, when we see the match unfold, that was actually pretty much the determining outcome. And you could see it there. I mean, it is not easy when one of your wheels is out. That is not easy at all to deal with.
Hey, if you could break one of them wheels, just break a leg, then it's gonna be hard for them to wrestle or move.
Well,
So
what do they say all the time before you go out there at anything in show business? Don't
hey,
break a
break a
leg.
leg.
You break a leg. Don't break a leg. But obviously, Savage has literally got that here, and we're watching it all unfold. And just again, I mean, a tag team turmoil, and he's getting it again. I mean,
and
Zero's a
that's
veteran. Zero's not gonna let him go easy.
and that's part of like playing it smart. Going like every time when he holds it, he has a 5 count. Of course, heels always using that heel tactics.
Yep.
Let him go, of course, because the ref is always gonna like say let him go, and doesn't like say that you can't do it one more time. Like you could do it
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah.
And Savage, look at he can't even barely stand right now.
And Savage
He
is a big guy too. Savage is a physical big guy. So the fact that he's not able to put that force,
and
that weight,
that it
God.
like him being a mighty fight. He's the one that ended Surge's reign as
Yep.
Northeast champion.
Yep.
Like that's the
And
impossible
they had
doing
a
the
war
possible.
last season with like no other. I mean, the war that they had, we spoke about that here on Sportswire a couple of
Yeah,
times, and
pretty
that was like
much.
very. Those guys killed each other, and obviously he's maybe still dealing with some of the ramifications of that. Obviously, also in the Riot in the Ring and the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament, you can see Savage here definitely just he's struggling, man. He's just
He's
he's a competitor, he's a fighter, and we're gonna bring him back on Sportswire soon to talk about this. But obviously, he gets up barely that GTS and he's struggling there and he gets it, but
he
just you could
gets
see
most of it, but at the same time,
look at that. That's so hard to deal with, and you guys are just the beneficiaries of it. You guys are going out here.
and us being the last team to come through, I feel bad for them a little bit, but at the same time,
If you guys were
opportunity
first, if the
strikes.
shoe was on the other foot, how would you guys feel?
If it was in the other foot, I'll still do what Savage was doing. I'll keep fighting until when I can no longer.
And Stain's got a lot of courage by going out there in this weather with just a cutoff shirt, right? He's a brave man, right?
Honestly, by that time, I was like saying, honestly, throughout the whole time when I'm here, since for the 7 years of coming back from Boston, I was like, how can people be with shorts at this time of the time?
Well, I still wear shorts up until about now, but this is where I would say, okay, time to put pants on. But Mr. Sane is obviously even more insane than I would be, but he's just comfortable in it, I suppose. Maybe he's warm blooded. I don't know. Maybe I have to ask him that question next time he comes on.
And the other thing is, well, it's wrestling. Everybody, wrestling is a workout at this point. It'll really
True.
the
Good point.
adrenaline and everything. You're not gonna really feel anything.
It's a good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. That's a good analogy. But
But still,
obviously,
short pants in this time of the day, like I'm like, how? I was freezing my ass the whole entire time there. I
yeah,
was
this
trying to
looks
just like
like afternoon. It looks like you're here in the afternoon. So this is obviously cold
afternoonish. Yep.
weather. It's in the afternoon, and but again, you guys obviously the beneficiaries because these guys have been killing each other out there. Leo and Savage, what they went through with DHC, and Leo's a hell of a competitor. You've been in the ring with Leo, you know Leo very well, and
Yep.
Leo's trying, but I mean, just you guys are 100%. You guys are full strength, and
Yeah.
these
Look at
guys
that.
aren't.
Like, look, uh, all the respect with Leo. Like, come on, he's trying his best, trying to take out Insane. Like, he's 100%. No sweat on him. Look at that. He already bringing him to our side.
And Leo's got a lot of history with Sane. Those two have a
That's
lot
another
of
thing.
history
Those
together.
two, like, history between each other, and of course, I bet Savage had history with Sane as well.
Yeah,
All three of
absolutely.
those men, they have history, but when it comes to
Yes.
me, nobody knows me yet. So
Which is
that's the
right
important
away.
thing.
Maybe you did benefit, but obviously, Sane there gets tripped up, and this is where Leo thinks he can maybe get some offense and get in a little bit of an advantage. But smart veteran move by just enable Sane to grab the rope, and the referee here is certainly making the count and continuing it. And this is where Sane struggles to get through, but obviously you're watching and you come in and get that
Of
tag,
course,
and here we go. It's the star of the show, and now we see those punches. You trading those punches with Savage, and oh my God, left and right, left and right. This is going to be far more punches that'll hit each other than you. Everybody talks about Paul and Tyson coming up. They ain't got nothing on Savage, and they ain't got nothing on Joe Starr. Look at these punches. Look at these two men going brawl out here. It is a brawl like no other. A Donnybrook here in the NEW Arena, sold out crowd here. The fans are chanting. The chat, we can hear him all the way. We can hear him from everywhere and anywhere. These guys are just fighting, and Joe Starr is fighting for everything. And the smart move there, Joe, for a non-veteran like yourself
and
to go out there and attack the ankle there, to attack Savage's knees, very smart move.
so wrestling. There's always a logistic in wrestling, and when I see an open wound, I'm always gonna like if I see an opportunity, I'm gonna take it. If you're a
Well,
heel
you
or
did.
not, I'm sorry. If I see a weakness, I'm gonna use that for an advantage. It's like open blood on the water of sharks. Of course, the shark is gonna try to like go find where the blood is.
And you found it. You got the blood right there. There's definitely blood in the water.
Yeah, and at the same time, like Savage, 100%. Look at that. He still could wrestle. He's still wrestling. That's the one thing that like I could say for sure. Like he's more veteran than I am.
Well,
He's more the pro.
he's been in the Indies. He's in the Indies every
Hmm.
weekend, so he's using the indie experience to go out there and help him fight and stay in a match like this. And Justin Abel
Yeah,
Sane just
and
comes
you
back
see
in. And, yep.
and you see how it is. Like me and him, we like I tagged him in while I was holding his leg, and of course targeting the leg a little bit. That's a little stingy on our part, but at the same time, opportunity is gonna be striking in.
Opportunity knocks. They always say opportunity knocks, and
You
that's
have to open
definitely
the door.
well. And you definitely are doing that here. And we're watching the tag team turmoil match, and there
But
is a
of course, Savage
desperation move. Desperation
desperation. Of
move.
course,
Yep.
that's the one thing. At least probably that's where you could see that like how everything comes to
And
play.
then you bounced right into him there. That's just boy, what a pinball like bounce there, almost like playing an arcade. And you come up with your anime like offense, and boy, here
Yep.
we go. It's a Donnybrook now. Look at Leo and Star. Oh my God, you want to talk
All
about
them
these two guys just
stiff.
all day and every day here. Boy, listen, like I said, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson got nothing on these guys. You just watch, ladies and gentlemen. We are just watching here in awe of what we are seeing here in NEW, the Tag Team Tournament Match here toward new Tag Team Champions. And boy, Leo is giving it everything he's got. He is giving it every single thing he's got. And
Yeah,
Joe
but
Star fights in another day.
I still got a little more than he has in the tank. That's the one thing I know.
Well,
Like
because he was out there, what, 16, 17, 18 minutes before you came into the ring? I mean, that's a long
around there.
time.
Yeah,
Long
like
time,
they're the Iron Man, of course. Like no disrespect to any of them, but at the same time, opportunity was pretty much in our
Opportunity
side.
knocks. Opportunity knocks.
It was on our side, and
But
for this,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's going to happen here? You just wait. And maybe that's why you are friends with Jake after all. Who knows? But I don't want to spoil it.
honestly, maybe I'd be part of DHE, maybe not. Hey, you never know. But at the same part, honestly,
I don't think
opportunity.
Sane would appreciate that, though. I don't think
Nah,
Mr. Sane would appreciate that. But,
no, because
you
like
know,
all the times that he been fighting against them, obviously I fought against them, so it can't be possible that I'm part of DHC at this point. But honestly, the opportunity he focused on what's going outside. That was another thing. Another like eyes off the ball, opportunity
but that's
strikes.
on Leo. Leo's been around long enough to know that you're in a championship match. Don't worry about what could or what may not be out there.
That's
You got
the
to
really
focus on your opponent, and
animosity.
that gives you the opportunity. 1, 2, 3, and just savage that knee
He
just
he
couldn't.
he wanted to like jump in. Of course, I was looking back a little bit because like I knew for sure he would try to do it, but the strikes that I was putting on his knee, and of course what Sane was doing with his knees, pretty much an open book.
It's an open book that's put you right now to hold those NEW Tag Team Championships, despite Mr. Dvorak clapping. But congratulations, great feeling, and you've got now those NEW Tag Team Championships. And how
Yes,
does it
sir.
feel? How does it
It
feel?
feels to be the first time of my like having a championship that quickly in my career right now in NEW. Absolutely the best.
And with a tag team partner like Justin Abel Sane, got to be a good feeling.
It's a good feeling because at least like a good direction where the company is going, of course, because he's the owner, and a lot of people will say like, hey, a little favoritism at this point, like,
Nepotism. I knew you were going with that. I knew that.
favoritism, just like abuse of power a little bit. How Power Surgeon Zero was before when they challenged us for those titles, and look at where it came from.
Absolutely. So it means a lot to you to hold the tag team championships alongside Justin Abel Sane, right?
Oh, for sure. Any title, like any chance of opportunity that I get, I'm gonna be having them real quickly, of course, because tag titles, mid card titles, world titles, you're not gonna get any of those opportunities as quick as possible. So when they give it to you, just go at it all out.
Absolutely. No, listen. Congratulations. Obviously, you're
Thank
doing a
you.
lot of great things in NEW, and I think a lot of people are very excited about that. I agree with Zilla. Congratulations on winning the tag belt. Want to say hello to Liz from WCE. Congratulations, Joe Star, on
Thank
winning
you.
first championships. We answered the Prodigy's question. My buddy Savage. One day we will see me and Savage team up the SS Express, the Savage Spade Express. MLW and CML's show is canceled. Will air tomorrow. Appreciate that for the update. Thank you for letting us know. You can check that out on that page over there. But you've obviously done a lot of great things in NEW. Talked a little bit about TF Crew, but you were in my state on October 12th, actually 4 weeks ago today, and you wrestled at this little thing called Shocky's House Party. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And what'd you think about it?
Oh, it was a hell of a day.
Yeah.
I
What a beautiful day outside. We had a lot of the guys. I don't think you were on here. I don't think you were not on the stream. We had a
I was.
pre-show. Oh, you were. I don't even remember at this point. Because
Honestly, any question that you pretty much asked, I pretty much couldn't hear you.
I think
I
that's
got
what it
up.
was. Yes, because I think you were there. It's like I don't remember if you even spoke because Gabe couldn't hear me. Oh, Shockey, I think, and O'Malley were the only ones to hear me. So it was like
Yeah,
it didn't
honestly,
even like it was like And I think Stefan Havoc was in the background. So it was like, but what a beautiful day outside. You could not have had a better day. I mean, this whole month here in the Northeast has just been like
It was
unbelievable weather. But like you guys had a
warm
beautiful day
weather to
outside,
low
70
weather.
plus
Yeah.
degrees. Usually in October in New York is kind of 50-50, but you had a hell of a day. Couldn't ask
Yeah.
for better conditions. And I mean, just Shocky's house party and just a really great show. Did really well, closing in on 1,000 views. And you had a match also that a lot of people are still talking about.
Yeah, so of course, sadly I lost
I'm gonna
against
show it on
my.
the screen here in a minute. I do have it queued up. I have it, and sadly for you, I do have it shown about in a minute.
Of course, sadly for me, I lost. It was not pretty much my day on there, but I went to New York, spent a hell of a day there with Shockey, with Javi Kent over there, Rob O'Malley, Stephen Havoc, Hart, like
Mickey Vargas was
Mickey
there. You had
Vargas,
obviously Mr.
D'Angelo La
Dvorak was
Flame,
there. Kuma, Shiba.
Kuma, Shima. Oh my God, Kuma! I'm gonna kill Kuma one of these days. He keeps
Well,
coming
don't say it
after
on
me.
the air on Sportswire.
Honestly, one of these days I'm gonna just like really do something to him if he keeps coming after me with that stupid stuff. But
Wow.
honestly, I had a whole fun there.
Niagara
Everything
Falls, I
just
see you went to. Niagara Falls.
yeah, went there with my good jacket, my good shirt, fresh
I
new
don't even think you
haircut.
needed a jacket that day. It was like 70 plus degrees, right?
I was sweating actually.
That's why I said I was here. I was actually. I remember going when Shockey said we were going to do. It was like I walked from my house. I went out to go and get a slice of pizza. It's a 20-minute walk, and I was sweating. It was like 75 degrees or something. It was crazy.
The weather that when I was driving the last 2 hours to 3 hours, and of course I had to take some time to. And Gabe, of course, had to
Yeah, Gabe is
photobomb my
Gabe.
stuff, but
Nah, not a
got a
surprise.
good video of him too, just being a jackass. But at the same time, had fun
Shima.
in New York. I pretty much had
Had you been
everything
here in
there.
upstate before? Had you been here before?
Never. That's my first time actually.
Wow. Okay. Was it everything you thought it would be? What was that feeling like?
Honestly, the feeling like me traveling was like so cool. Like by the time the first 4 hours of the drive, I was pretty much knocked out because it was like pretty much 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning that we kind of left, and we didn't got there until 9 o'clock. So
Wow.
at least the rise and shine of the whole New York State. Pretty much, I was like, okay, here we go. This brand new day traveling with the boys at this point, because everybody has to have like your four people to come with to your travels, and had fun and everything. Then we did the show, which I'm not gonna lie, everybody did their best in their matches. With the first start of Shock versus
Oh my God,
Jake,
what an opener that was. We watched it here. What an opener. I mean, I
what an
am
opener, and then
yep,
the fatal four way to go after
yep.
that, and then the hardcore match or death match. Forgot what was it, but like I know Havoc
And how about the main
left.
event where Gabe once again interjected himself there? How about
Well,
Stephen Havoc's match? Oh my goodness. I mean,
have
Stephen
like
Havoc, who was
it
here
was
a couple weeks
crazy.
ago. Crazy, right?
I know. Well, I heard that they were betting on Jake and Stefan was betting on who was gonna bleed more. I think it was Stefan Havoc that
I
bled
think
more.
yeah, Stephen Havoc has the edge, has the who we never I never thought we'd be talking about who bled more, but Stephen Havoc probably did have the edge, but Jake was
Well,
definitely
who?
not too far behind.
Yeah, and the funny thing is he ruined the goat fella's shirt, so that's another
I
thing.
know. Well, we're talking about that on the, and Shocky's here, by the way, November 26th. He's here 2 weeks from Tuesday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to ask Shocky Boy, about that. I'm going to ask Shocky about the shirt. But, I'm not going to ask Shocky about anything else because he and I have been talking about a couple of different things I won't talk about on the air, but I'll maybe talk about what and open it up and how's the shirt doing.
Oh yeah, no, I bet he's gonna tell you a good answer saying like, "Don't even remind me of it."
Yeah, knowing Shocky, I think that might actually be his words. I speak to Shocky very regularly, and I think that's going to probably be his words. But yeah,
Well,
beautiful.
Shocky, the person that pretty much just like gave me that invite and everything, such a cool dude.
Yeah, I love Shocky. Shocky's a good dude.
He's
Shocky
a
and that crew.
he's
Shocky,
a
it's
brother.
Shocky. It's that
He's a
crew. It's like
brother.
Shocky. It's Shocky, Vargas, O'Malley, and Havoc. Those four.
Those
definitely,
they when I went over there, I was so nervous
why?
for well, because I'm pretty much a new starter, and just like I haven't really been traveling anywhere else. I'm still
Well,
slow tracking it.
LaFlame only started traveling earlier this year. I mean, theoretically, your experience is about the same as LaFlame's.
Yeah, well, LaFlame is different. He's world
LaFlame, I know,
champion,
is
so I was different.
LaFlame is put on a pedestal. I know LaFlame. I know his deal. LaFlame is put on a pedestal there. But it's great. I was really excited about it. I really am happy that the show did as well as it did. And,
Yeah,
we got a chance to play a role in that. I know D'Angelo praised the show. Jake was here. Havoc was here. We're going to put your match up in a minute. I mean, just it was really a great show. I think it's what people want to see. I think that's what it's all about, giving people an
the
opportunity to connect and make friends.
it was a good show. The backstage was just hell of a hectic, like fun. It was, excuse me, pretty much a place like a go to place like where everywhere like people really enjoy wrestling.
Yeah, they have a good environment there over at House of Misfits Entertainment. They really have a nice little setup there. I always enjoy watching the setup there. And, we're about to see you come out here and such. And we're watching Shocky's house party here with one of the men that competed in it, Mr. Joe Starr. He's one half of the NEW Tag Team Champions. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And your opponent's here in the ring. And did you do any scouting on him?
I tried so much throughout the whole entire week, way
Yeah,
before I
Grimes, I
went
don't know
in
if
there.
somebody you were going to be sitting there and watching tape.
I I've been trying to find some videos of him, and it was pretty much hard to find out what he does. So I was pretty much going here blindly on what to do. So it's
How
pretty
is that
much
different than when you went into the tag team turmoil match where it was like, okay, I'm not going to know what I'm doing more or less?
yeah, and right. You already see me. I'm in the corner, just like okay, I've got this. Like in my head, I'm like saying, "Let's do this." Like this is me and him, one on one. Let me show what I got. And of course,
I know you're hyped for this, but you had a long drive, a long commute. Did that play any role in this match?
nah, I don't want to really. I don't want to say anything like that because one, that's gonna sound like I'm making excuses, which I don't like making excuses for
Okay,
myself at
no,
all.
I got to ask it. I mean, that's just the
But
reality of it.
reality is 8 hour drive. Three people was
Mentally.
the
And
one
listen,
that,
listen, that's taxing mentally and physically. That's taxing.
and
It's a really
pretty
taxing
much
experience.
you have a full day already. Like you technically be on a full day, and then going at 1 o'clock to the place to start driving for 8 hours. Three people that knows how to drive, 2 hours each at least. But at the same time, it could
Have you
put
had a
you
drive like that before in your career?
never, never have it.
Wow.
It was pretty much everything was the first time going into like 8 hours drive. Well, the Connecticut drive was different because Connecticut and Massachusetts they're like
Yeah, I know
pushing four
Connecticut.
hours.
My uncle lives in
So
Connecticut, so I know the Connecticut geographic versus
so
like
e-
Buffalo.
so either way, the Connecticut and the New York drives, New York City drive, not upstate New York, because when
Yeah.
I first found out about Ransomville, New York, I'm like, dang, that's close to Canada.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
up there. You're thinking like I'm in New York City, right? So you think, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. That's not that bad. No, he's up by the Canadian border. You saw
up
Niagara
there
Falls, so he's way up there. If you would have went to New York City by me, you're probably talking 4 hours, right? By you 4, which is
around 4 hours.
it's
Yeah,
not as bad, not as bad.
just half of it. Just like a one drive, like a one person drive could be there at
Yeah,
least.
that's not that bad. 4 hours, you kill time. You're in the car. Maybe you stop and go to a restroom. That's 4 hours. I mean, it's still long, but it's not like 8 hours. That's a day practice.
Hmm.
That's a day's work. I mean, that's 16 hours both ways. It's not easy. That's why I was asking not to make excuses because again, D'Angelo came from just the other side of the country, and other
But
guys came and win.
honestly, the drive, 8 hours. I rarely go to places like this by driving. The last time that I drove that much was when I went to the cruise with my
Oh wow.
family when it was
Okay.
in Florida.
And well, Grimes has got you up here like almost like an airplane in a cruise because you got
Mhm.
basically demolished there, and that was brutal. I mean, that was just. I'm sorry you went through that.
That jackknife almost looked
Oh my
kind of felt
goodness,
like
yeah, it
I
looked like
kicked out.
I would have been dead. I mean, you somehow kicked out. I would have been dead. We'd probably be talking about you taking over Sportswire. You could really be the star of the show. You could interview. You could interview everybody else that comes on. But obviously,
I I can't have the same voice as you, Tom. You're the one and only person that really could know
uh,
how to do this. So I'd rather
well,
let you do it. I'll take the
lucky
beatings
me.
for you.
Lucky me, but unfortunately, it's lucky you right now, or unlucky you right now in the ring with Grimes, and just he's a big man. He reminds me of Abyss a little bit out there, right? He reminds me of Abyss from
the
TNA.
the style of him, like
Yeah,
the way he manhandled me there, like I'm literally like pretty much trying to
he's a
get
big
everything in
guy.
my bearings.
He's a big guy.
That's another advantage. Like, he's a bigger dude, a bigger, like he's a monster s move there, to be honest, because I don't know him. He doesn't know me, but he's ops. Excuse me, my words, but like
I know
he's
we're
really
getting toward the end of the show. Trust me, we're getting there. But
yeah,
obviously, you're in a war here. It's. I mean, you're obviously you come up
pretty
here. You're getting some offense. You're using everything you can to go out and
everything pretty much trying to put him down. But he's a monster of
he
all
won't go
trades. So
down.
I had to put him really with a good like elbow strike and decided to roll him down with a good knee. That was the only part that I pretty much like really got him down. And one special move that I never thought I was gonna really use, which I don't want to say because if
Well,
anybody
you're
didn't say
trying,
it,
but
so
right now it ain't working. Still, it's not working.
around,
It's just
yeah. But around here, like pulling something that I never did before. Never, I just met the guy in the ring,
you're
of course.
trying, but this guy, I mean, he's giving you a choke slam to hell, and you're gonna feel that all the way back on the way home to Massachusetts. And
Oh,
just
the
obviously, you're
the
trying
ride
though. You're
back.
battling, man. You're battling. You are battling here. You're giving it everything you've got. It's
That's what
not
I do.
easy.
That's every match I'll do. Like if you're trying to beat me down, I'm still gonna try to give you a fight because I'm not gonna lay down without a fight.
You didn't go
And
all the way to New York for that, and look at this here. I mean, just
when do you see a giant like that do a moonsault?
he's thrown jackknives, choke slams, moonsaults. I mean, any other man,
How?
I'd be dead. Listen, Joe Starr, I'd be dead. But yet you fought, you battled, and you shown. You know what? You can hang with guys like this. You can do it. You can do it.
Whether I
You
win
can.
or lose, I'm still gonna give you a hell
You
of a
showed you're
fight
the
because
star of the show. You are the star of the show. You're fighting. You got back up, and he's up. Joe Starr is up. But no, and it looks like
almost.
here almost you couldn't. You fought. You were game, and
But
you're
nope.
trying, Joe. You're giving it
Boom.
everything you've got, but just I don't know how
Keeping
you're
him down
doing
in a
this.
way, but probably I thought
Canadian
this was
Destroyer. Canadian Destroyer. One, two.
yeah.
Oh,
Honestly, I
oh.
thought that Canadian
I
destroyer was
thought,
gonna
when I
finish him.
watched it last month, I thought game over. I thought we got him. Joe, another
Honestly,
win for Joe.
that's what I thought I was gonna do. I thought that Canadian destroyer was gonna finish him.
On Grimes, nonetheless, to get that Canadian Destroyer up. I mean, even Omen Black tuned in and was like, yeah, I mean, you won big. Well, he won big at the casino, but shout out to Omen. It is his show. But, I mean, and here you go with the Cobra. You're doing everything you can, Joe. Joe, everything.
I'm really
You might as well throw the kitchen sink at Grimes. You
pretty
probably should
much
have brought that out there. But obviously, there it
dying.
goes. Big Daddy Cool Diesel, obviously. Kevin Nash definitely looked at it, and I'm sure had an opinion on that. But you're
That
basically
jackknife.
roadkill right now. Yeah, that's just to
That
quote
that
Rage
was
Against the
the
Machine. How could I just kill a man? But well, apparently Grimes attempted to kill Joe Starr.
probably he knows like I'm gonna keep fighting, so he had to use one
One
of
more
his
had to
moves.
do had one for insult to further injury, and yeah, that's it. There, that's
Keep
definitely
me
off.
down a dead eye, so of course drop me on my own head since I drop him with a
One,
Canadian destroyer.
two, three. Joe, Omen had better luck than you because he won $400 off 20. But sadly enough, Grimes, he won big off you, and obviously you're roadkill. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry
Of
about that.
course, like, hey, it's wrestling, ups and downs. You can't win them all. That's what
No.
That's pretty much how you do it. When ups and downs, wins or losses, doesn't
Peaks and
matter.
valleys, ebbs and flows, and
It's a
you know.
marathon. So
But you were in a big spot. You hung in there, and you showed you a game. That's the positive.
and probably that's why I was like the co-main event of this show, which that was another thing. eight
What did that mean
hours.
to you? To be in such a big spot here in this show. What did that mean to you?
Honestly, being a part of like a co-main event on any show because like I main evented right in the ring with Gabe Sayers and
Yep,
Christopher Black,
I remember it.
which I was like surprised that happened, and me pulling out the victory with Gabe Sayers. That was like, okay, boom, I'm doing something good. And then I pretty much probably got into cover of the NEW like multiple times already. Like this is probably my third, 3 times or 4 times that I've been in the cover of the video, which
Yep,
I'm like, okay,
it's a big deal.
step it up forward, going forward, keep going. Then I go to TF crew, and now I'm came up to New upstate New York.
You're
That's
going
pretty
to
much
different
big
places. Yeah,
deals.
you're doing. Like you've really shown that you're on basically a path to where I think you're going to be in even more main events and even bigger places, whether it's in Massachusetts, whether it's in Connecticut, whether it's in Shocky's house party, if he does another one here. Shocky's here on the 26th, 3 o'clock Eastern time, 2 weeks from Tuesday. But like, I just think that the best is yet to come with you. I think that you're going to be on part of to bigger and better. And I think that this house party is a part of it. You want to follow Shocky's house party. You actually got a subscriber since we're on the air. So go out there and follow him. Home BYW22. Shocky Boy is back here 2 weeks. Coming up here from this Tuesday, 3 o'clock. He's going to talk about this plus his future and more. So please go out there and support him. Joe Starr is a part of NEW Underground Wrestling, TF Crew, NWE, and definitely support those great companies, and we definitely look forward to the future here. So obviously, we've spoken about a lot. Big victory today at Rivals, tag team championship win, huge victory at Halloween over Gabe Sayers. Close to 3,000 people have watched it. So going toward the end of the show, what's next for Joe Starr?
Well, pretty much what's next is just like how I said it the last time. I'm still going off like going for these goals. I already won some gold tag team champions with with Sane. Now, probably I'm gonna move up a little further up in the cards. Probably a Northeast title shot, an undisputed
Northeast.
title shot. I could go with either one because I was a part of this 6-man elimination
Yep.
match for the undisputed world title, which me and Spade costed my match a little bit with that one, but ups and downs, ups and downs. I'll get there one day again, but that's my future. Go to travel places. Anyone could book me. Just send me a go to my Instagram, go to my Snapchat. Just
I'm going to put your Instagram up on the screen so people, if they want to book you, want to follow you, want to talk to you. Zilla, I know you're here. If you haven't yet followed Joe, please go out there and follow him. I want to get him to 136, 137, 38, 39, 40, and just you can see him here. Just a lot of great stuff. You've seen him here in just different matches, different places. He's definitely come a long way. He's a great guy. He makes me smile every time I think about him. You'll smile when you think about him too. When you see him out there in the ring, that is his Instagram page. Please go out there and give him a follow and maybe book him for your upcoming shows.
so whoever wants to just like send an email or send whatever, just go through there. Probably I'll
Absolutely.
let you know with anything. Probably, hey, the star of the show could show up at your industry or whatever. Maybe soon
Why
enough.
not? You just never know. Why not? And definitely go support NEW. And NEW is going to be in the Hall of Fame next month in December. I know you'll be a part of that. Very cool feat. I know that we're going to see you in TF Crew coming up here. Gabe's got some videos ahead. I know you're going to be a part of that roster. And next Sunday, Jake and Gabe are in the ring. That's going to be very exciting. And a no ring, figuratively and literally barbed wire match. That's right up Omen Black's alley there. But right now he's on an alley playing a casino or two. So good luck on that. Hope you win more money. And, happiest comes to you. And we'll see what the future is. So, as we're getting ready to say closing thoughts and pass the baton off to you before we say sayonara, but I mean, anything else you want to say to the audience? Anything else that we should talk about before we sign off tonight?
Pretty much just like what you were saying, just follow all these people. All wrestling matters, of course, because like where else you gonna be finding some good wrestling from none other than your host from here, Tom Bryce. So of
I've
course,
been on 8 times in 4 days, and I'm on tomorrow. I'm on twice on Monday. So, yeah,
you're
you're
the
getting
working
you're getting
man.
a variety. Yeah, I'm a working man.
So other than that, please follow what he does. He does the best for everybody, giving a platform even to me at this point. I'm still
Oh,
new.
Joe, I love having you here, Joe.
Like,
Joe, you're a pleasure to have on here.
no, thank you, thank you. You're pretty much the one that's pretty much giving me a chance to just like tell everything what I'm going on right now. So
Well, that's what we
it's
do here. We have everybody. Listen, this is the only platform, really. The backyarders come on. The undergrounders like you, the hardcore, the death match, the pro, the indie. I mean, the UK guys. We really, even the promo guys who do promo wrestling come on. I really, that's what we're about. It's all wrestling matters, and I can't speak on other people, but I do believe in that, and I think you're doing a great job. NEW has just had what an amazing year. NEW has had. TF Crew goes without saying, and
yep.
NWE eventually will do something big.
Yeah, talking about NWE. Go follow NWE. That's where I was originally from. Kuma was originally from, and of course, the explosion of Hiroshima will be there too. Now, I may say probably anybody who watches NWE, please make sure probably around the next week or two, we're gonna probably send a new videos out. So be aware. Please go follow NEW on this underground wrestling because of course that's where all the best wrestling backyard wrestlers at this point, as myself, Sane included, where seeing him getting whipped by the bell and just like seeing me getting chokeslammed there, but you know go follow them. They're the best where you can find real good wrestling matches there. And
Absolutely.
TF Crew, of course, I'm
Oh,
really
TF
recently
Crew is
new,
just. I mean, Gabe is.
there, so I can't really say too much about them, but go follow them. Go have their Unhinged Rumble. So get your tickets now if you want to go see the Unhinged Rumble.
I'm
That's
gonna be
coming
covering
January
that. I
4th.
know we're gonna. Gabe is gonna have a big show with that. I know it's coming up. Remember at the start of the year, we had in January we had a show, and now we're actually getting ready to cover next year's one. It's just time flies. It's just
Very
crazy. It's
quick.
really like time flies. But Gabe is doing a great job, and I'm just really excited about the future of that, and everything else in between. And this is Joe's Instagram page, so I'm going to now pass the baton to you. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say, and take it away.
No, just like pretty much like we were all saying at this point, please just follow me if you haven't followed me yet. Please go follow the Sportswire Radio, of course, because the one and only Tom Bryce.
I still have to eventually get the tattoo. I will get it. Eventually, I will
Oh,
get it. I will get it. I just, right now I'm a chicken, but I will get it eventually. I promise
I
you I'll get it.
I completely forgot about that too. I was just like screwing around with you
No, it's
yesterday,
okay.
just
No, listen.
saying
I think Rhea was like, "You better get it," and I think Jake was like, so I'm going to get there. I'm going to definitely get there. I do want to get it. I do want to get it.
so please follow him that he could get the tattoo of NEW that nobody else could really go after him at this point.
No, it's okay. People can go after me. On that, they can go after me. I think I actually, to be honest, I've been here 8 times in 4 days, so I feel like I'm just chained to Sportswire. Well,
But
the people want it. I mean, look, the people. It means something to somebody, and I just want to be here, and I want to make people feel that they should be here and follow Joe Starr. That's his Instagram page. I'm going to put up NEW's page one more time before we sign off. Please support NEW. I would definitely hope that you do that and everything else in between. NEW Vortex is coming up here. I believe this Friday is Vortex. Usually 6 o'clock is when Vortex airs. We've got a lot more coverage here. The guys are all going to be a Savage I owe an appearance for, so you'll definitely want to keep in touch with that. So definitely, please make sure you support our friends here in NEW. And Jake approves. Thank you, Jake, for approving. I definitely want the State Farm approval, and that's NEW's YouTube
boom.
channel. NEW's been killing it. Just make sure you keep helping them kill it, and I'm sure Jake is going to try to kill Gabe coming up here next Sunday, but we'll see. Maybe Gabe
Yeah.
isn't hiding for good reasons. I wouldn't blame him, but we'll have to see. I'm sure Gabe is going to have something to say eventually. But in the meantime, that's NEW's page. Thank you to NEW for all of their support, granting us footage to show here on the screen, and Joe for being gracious enough to be here. And my friend, thank you so much for all that you do for us. I'm looking forward to putting you in the Hall of Fame alongside the rest of the NEW roster coming up here next month. We'll also let you come back here one more time before the year is out. And keep up the great work. Congratulations on today's win. Congratulations on those tag team championships. And thank you for all you do. And we'll see you next month.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
All right, that was Joe Starr, one half of the NEW Tag Team Champions. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And if you're on Sportswire Radio, I will be here only once tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, with the Brooklyn Prodigies. Both guys should be here, so stay tuned for an announcement later on for that tomorrow. And I'll be here Monday with Anthony Steele, I think 9 o'clock Eastern Time, but hybrid from the UK Monday at 3. And a lot of shows ahead. If you're on Sportswire Radio, you're going back to your regularly scheduled programming. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. And ladies and gentlemen, Joe Starr is definitely proving he's the star of the show, and I can't wait to see more from this man. Go follow him, go support him. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.